Welcome back to Coffee and Candor. This is Brandy.
Amber.
Chris.
And Ross.
Tonight we're going to talk about something that I think is becoming a little more common on social media, and it should never be normalized. I've been hearing, you have to understand, this first kicked off in 2022, so this is not new. The child is only 4 years old now. So this started when she was 2. No, the controversy started when it was 2. The vlog started when she was an infant. Okay? The little girl's name is Wren Elenore, and her mom's name is Jacqueline. And basically, this child, now first of all, it's important to know that the accusation is, and I thought it was unfounded at first. I thought, oh, those are bold claims. But what the people are saying is that she's basically trafficking her child on social media and pandering specifically to pedophiles. And again, that's a bold statement. Mm-hmm. And usually when I hear people say claims that outrageous, I tend to not believe them. That's just me.
Yeah. Like, a mother can't be doing that.
Right. A mother would never. Oh, well, can't say that anymore. So anyway, here's some key facts. Wren, who again is 4, she has 17.5 million followers.
A 4-year-old should never have followers, period.
No.
On TikTok. That's TikTok alone. She also has millions on Instagram. You know what's really interesting? Her mother's personal TikTok and Instagram completely locked down. You can't see her shit unless she allows it.
Mm-hmm. Premium content.
No, it's not like that.
No,
it's privacy.
unless she friends you.
It's privacy.
It's privacy setting.
It's locked down, private. Wren's, however, is wide fucking open. Now, why? Ask yourself why you would have your 4-year-old child's life literally wide open to anyone in the world. 17 million people follow this child.
That right there is weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird, especially when you think about, okay, you know as well as I do that.
Well, but you know what? How many followers does that one kid have?
One kid.
The one that tests toys and
Baby,
shit.
I don't know because I
It's in the millions.
Right.
That burns my ass.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
but
little 6-year-old shithead made like $20 million.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
No, exactly.
but at least-
But that's a different story.
On that account, Ryan, they're catering, because trust me when I tell you, I've seen more of it than I ever fucking wanted to, because Mason adores his content. And it is catered to children. That's why it's so fucking annoying. Because no,
I get it.
Kids
It's like Barney.
annoying sounds, and it's just, I hate it.
Right.
But kids
Like
eat it
Miss
up.
Rachel, it's a learning thing, but I can only take so much
Right.
a day.
And that's completely catered around what a child likes. And so is Ryan's stuff. Now they're absolutely monetizing that
little
child.
kid has made a shit ton more than Miss Rachel has.
Well, I know that, but
Which is unfortunate.
and obviously Ryan's parents are monetizing him clearly, and they have been. But I don't think it's predatory in nature.
No,
I don't think so.
This is.
Yeah, that's what it
And
sounds
again, I didn't believe it until I looked it up for myself. So not only does the mom keep her stuff locked down, Wren's is wide open. You can favorite Wren's videos. You can download Wren's videos to save for later viewing. Do you know how many saves and downloads the average some of these videos this kid gets? 500,000. That's a lot of perverts.
Yeah, it is.
Let's just say that 1%. are the perverts.
Of those 17 million followers.
That's a lot of perverts.
Yeah, that's 170,000.
Yeah. Okay. So, and you and I know if you do, and like she puts out video content every day. So this little child is always performing for the camera.
Wow.
And it's clearly performative. And so content's being, around their town, in their neighborhood. If you follow something close enough, I mean, I've done it with somebody on social media. I know where somebody I admire, where they live. I found their house on Google Live View. You could do that.
That's not creepy at all.
Well, I was in the town, and I just wondered, like, if it was a place you could drive by. But we didn't. But I could have.
Did you?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
And he said he'd take me if I wanted to go. But I was like, no, that's just too weird. But, so it can be done. And when you're putting out content every day, day after day, come on, there's going to be clues just where, street name markers and,
Businesses.
Yeah. Where you can triangulate. You can see what the majority of the license plates look like on the vehicles. Shit like there's all kinds of context clues. Now, she does things like, and you don't upload to TikTok a lot or at all.
At all, yeah.
But there's a thing, like if you do a video, like even if it's a 10-minute video, you can choose the thumbnail that goes on the video.
Okay.
So I start looking at these videos and I'm watching them. And she has this little girl. Okay, this is the one that I don't care. You'll never convince me it was innocent. You never will. I don't care. She has this little girl, and she's dressed with pigtail, dog ears, and she's a little blonde, adorable, little blue-eyed. And she gives her a piece of gum, and she is chewing it, and she records. This is the entirety of the video. Close up on this child with her little innocent face saying, "I swallowed it. Is that okay?"
Oh my God.
Now tell me that's not catering to a pedophile. Then she's taken her to the fair and is feeding her fair food. Do you want to know how many phallic shaped things that child ate that day? Giant pickles. We all know the way AI is right now. You can take a still of that and you can make it anything you want to.
Yeah.
And she's done videos with a little girl with whipped cream around her mouth and licking it off.
Oh my God.
She has done frozen honey and she squeezed it out so it came out like a cylinder and then put it in front of her mouth. And the little girl acted scared, which I didn't like.
I don't like any of this.
No, it's awful. And one of her things that she does on a semi-regular basis.
I don't understand why her account hasn't been banned.
I don't either. Because like I
there's
said,
no nudity.
She can say, well, y'all, and here's what she does do.
Yes.
When people complain, because they've been complaining again since 2022 when Wren was only 2. Wren's 4 now. And I think it's important to note this woman has another child. You never see that other child. He's older and he's a boy. One of the things, every holiday, she'll do a thing. This is my mom's version of, say, Valentine's outfit and grandma's version. You pick. Well, grandma's version is always like a goofy little kid outfit, like a little kid festive outfit, bows and leggings, and you know how little girls.
Right.
Moms are always, looks like this little child is going clubbing.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm talking tops that are one-shouldered and go off the chest like that.
Skirts.
And little hoochie skirts.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm talking it's it's so, and like, so people have just, I mean, it's all I've seen on TikTok for 2 weeks, because people are just like you, how can we make this stop? Because it's gross. I mean, she has her sitting on whoopee cushions. There's one that the entire video is she's got a little hobby horse that it's the kind that as you bounce up and down on it,
Oh,
rides.
my God.
The whole video is just her going across the screen, bouncing on that. What? Why?
I don't know, but I bet if the FBI were to send in their data forensic people, they'd probably find some inappropriate pictures of that girl that the mom has taken and sold to people.
People said that. And so the people are like reporting this woman to the FBI because they're horrified. They're really genuinely scared for this little girl's
this
well-being.
child seems like she's being exploited.
Right, big time. Now, here's another thing that's important. Somebody did the math on how many views her videos get and what this woman's earning a month from exploiting this child. Take a stab.
A couple million.
Not a month. $250,000 a month.
God.
Well, human trafficking is you think drugs are a big the cartels don't make their money from drugs. They make their money from human trafficking. So, I mean,
Well,
that's the business.
People have been mortified for a long time
And they should be.
and calling for bans. But, you know, the mom is diabolically smart and knows how far she can push. And so people started on this latest uproar. They started reporting her to the FBI and saying, like, can somebody look into this? So we get this apology video from the mom, and it's literally like this. I can't believe you people think I would do anything that would put my child at risk.
No, she doesn't need to do an apology video. She needs to go to goddamn jail.
I spoke to an FBI agent, and they scoured the dark web, and there are no inappropriate videos of Wren on the dark web. Well, first of all, why do they have to be on the dark web when you're just putting them out here for fucking free?
You can't.
Right, that's not how it works.
Yeah, you can't scour the dark web
And
because it's not indexed.
right.
She probably didn't even talk to anybody.
No, well, probably not. But you know, she didn't talk to someone who did any kind of
knew?
forensic. Yeah, who did any kind of forensic analysis
Right.
because the whole reason the dark web is
It's
so
dark
effective
is because
is because you can't type in www.whateverthefuck.com
Yeah, like-
because the sites aren't
Indexed.
You have to have the IP address.
Yeah, and that's the difference between the internet we all live on, which it is indexed. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
And
the other 99% that's not.
yeah, and that's why it's dark. That's the dark in the dark.
Yeah, that's the dark part.
And so she can't claim ignorance because people have told her.
I'd like to know the name of the agent she spoke to.
Yeah, me too.
Because that should be, you should be able to FOIA that.
And and here's another
She
thing.
probably didn't speak to one.
I don't believe she spoke to anyone.
I don't think so either.
Now because when this became a problem a couple of years ago and now, the comments were wide open on this child's videos.
Okay.
So that meant anyone that viewed it could say anything they wanted to.
All right.
And there are multiple. Again, you don't upload much to TikTok.
Yeah, I don't upload to TikTok.
But if I upload a video and you make a comment on it,
Right.
I can heart that comment.
Okay.
I don't have to respond with words. I can just heart it. But it'll say liked by the creator.
Okay.
So before she turned comments off so nobody can see these anymore. They're now private. But before she turned them off, a lot of people were doing what do they call it when they record. They take part of the video and then they
Like
stitch it?
Stitch it, yeah. They were stitching it, and they were pointing out inappropriate comments that had been said about this 4-year-old child. And so many of the most inappropriate comments had been liked by the creator.
Oh my God.
Like, oh, where can I kiss it?
Oh, stop.
Let me put my lips on it.
Oh.
Didn't even do the child the justice of calling it a human, like dehumanizing the child. Things like, oh, she will make me a good wife someday.
Ugh.
Who says that about a 4-year-old? A fucking pedophile, that's who.
Yeah.
And, I mean, most of them, I had to quit because it was making me physically sick to my stomach.
Oh, yeah, I can say that.
Because, again, it is wired in me to want to protect especially the innocent. And to see this mother who, she's not seeing this sweet little girl as her innocent child. She's seeing her as a payday. And it really doesn't, like, she'll be the first, if something and God, please understand, I hope nothing happens to this child and she grows up to someday be able to advocate for herself and say, I was,
Exploited.
yeah.
That's the definition of what's happening.
From the time I was born. I hope to God she's able to do that someday. But if something awful happens to this child, and I don't see how this woman can't see she's courting something. She's double dog daring something awful to happen. She'd be the first one. Oh my God, somebody hurt my baby. No, ma'am, you hurt your baby.
Yeah.
You set that in motion. Because all it takes is for one of these motherfuckers to be able to... there's a dude on TikTok that his whole thing is give him a picture and he can tell you exactly where it was taken. And it wouldn't be shit for them to grab a screenshot and say, hey, tell me where this is.
Yeah, and it could be a screenshot that didn't have the child in it, so the person wouldn't know.
And this motherfucker can get down to the fucking coordinates.
Right.
So it wouldn't be shit
No,
for...
it'd be easy.
And all it takes is for one of them to get a wild hair up their ass.
Yeah.
And now that poor kid is abducted or worse.
Yeah.
And that's 100% on the mom. It's 90%
No, it's
on the
not
mom.
100%, but it's damn sure 85, 90% because you led them to her.
She created that environment.
Right. And
After people told her, this is not
oh God,
right.
I forgot one of the worst things I saw. I haven't even told you, so there's a video of the little girl laying in bed.
Yeah.
She's wearing a diaper and a pajama bottom. Top.
Okay.
She's laying in bed with her little stuffy, her stuffed animal baby. It's a kitten.
Okay.
She's got it to her bare breast like she's feeding it. That's the thumbnail of the video. And
Yeah, I don't like that.
And the title, Wren feeds her kitty. Now come the fuck on.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Nobody can convince me that that's innocent.
No. And no amount of diabolical gaslighting
Right.
because that's exactly what this bitch is doing.
Yeah.
If anybody calls her out,
She says, well, you're sexualizing my child.
She gaslights them.
Yeah, no, ma'am.
Yeah, no.
Just because we can call you on what you're doing.
There's no amount of rationalization that makes that okay.
If that little girl, first of all, I don't believe the little girl just did that on her own. But if she did,
No.
But if she did, like I've seen Mama breastfeed my baby sister or whatever like that, you don't put it on the fucking internet.
Yeah, you don't take a picture of it.
And put it on the internet for 17 million strangers to consume.
Jesus Christ.
It is literally so disturbing. And then, so, and there's a lot of like the mommy vloggers and the lifestyle vloggers. That's a whole like thing on TikTok. And then they named another one that I follow because this little girl, she's adorable and she loves like animals and she's always like, picking flowers but they're like, well, some of her stuff is, and I was like, no. And then I thought, oh, because there's this one, you know how kids mangle shit, like words.
Yep.
And it's cute. It is, until your little blonde-haired, blue-eyed, adorable child is eating pizza on the couch with Dad and starts going, I'm eating penis!
Oh, my God.
Oh.
And that should not be put up.
No.
Well, all right, so...
It might be funny if it's said amongst family or close, that's pizza. But you don't put it up when you have 15 million followers.
So, and I think this is indicative of a much bigger problem, but motherfuckers have got this idea that they need to record and post everything.
Well,
motherfuckers like that, they record.
Oh, everything.
That right there, that is absolutely funny. If you are, like you said,
in the moment,
in your around your family, that is not funny. What are the odds of her having her camera up right at that moment anyway? That seems suspicious as fuck. And that's not funny for the whole world to see.
No, because
then it makes it gross.
Well, and it invites people to look at your child in a way that if you're a nourishing parent, don't want your child ever to be looked at.
Exactly.
And so most people would go, this is a funny thing for me, but I should keep that on the DL because we don't want to encourage perverts to look at our baby.
Exactly. And
now I will say...
raising a boy is hard. But raising a girl...
There's just things you have to be aware of.
In the social environment that social media has created, that we being adults, have apparently helped foster because nobody's tried to fucking curtail it.
Well,
raising a girl is incredibly difficult and it's incredibly scary.
Yeah, you're scared
because
all the time.
every fucking pedophile has access to the internet. All of them.
Right, that's what I was fixing to say, because here's the thing. When Amber and I were being raised, or even Alexis, your child, you could control. I mean, you still can, but you have to take way different measures.
Well,
you could control who had access to Alexis.
Well, yeah, but Alexis still had a Facebook page.
Yes, but
she
didn't have one when she was fucking 4.
No,
but she did have one when she was...
about 11.
10 or 11. And I did not like the idea of that at all.
Yeah, I mean...
But, it's like...
right. We told her... We have to be friends on there.
Right, we have to be able to see everything.
Have to know the passwords, all that.
Well, yeah, I've been her Facebook friend that long, because I believe, and y'all told me, and I said, absolutely, if I see anything, you'll be the first to know. Because, and I think that's what I mean. I would do anything for not just my children, but like the children in my village,
Right.
because it does take... This world gets more complicated every day. Mm-hmm. And you need as many eyes as possible, responsible eyes that can look out for the welfare of that child. We've seen that in an extended family member, and I'm going to be very purposely vague, was posting, as a little girl, very inappropriate content on TikTok. And I sure as fuck saw it, because when I see... a child in my village gets social media, you better believe I add them right then, because I want to be able to see, because, they'll think to hide it, to block it from mom, or, but they aren't going to think about everybody. And that's when it's good to have other eyes on them.
Well, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say was, we've fostered this idea, and I guess it started with smartphones, or digital cameras, ultimately. The idea that, let me pull out my camera and hit record in a split second, and now I've got everything recorded. Even though then it was a lot harder. You had to, take the SD card out, take it over to the computer, upload. And with smartphones, it's exponentially easier. But this idea of I need to record everything and post it for God and fucking everyone to see. You want to record shit for posterity, for memories? Cool, fine.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do. But when you post that online, whatever it is, as soon as you upload it, it's there forever.
The internet is forever.
It does not matter if I deleted it. No, the fuck you didn't.
You deleted it from your...
Yeah, you didn't delete it from the backup servers. It's still there. And those backup servers get archived forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
And I think one thing that is really making this so frightening is the whole influencer culture.
Yeah.
Because
that's another one that I have a big problem with.
And like we talked about this, and I'm not going to name any names, but a young woman we know and love had a baby. And she felt like she wasn't enough because it didn't go according. It wasn't Insta-worthy, and there were, there's all that added.
Yeah, well,
to get it just right and picture perfect, and life's just not just right and picture perfect.
Well, and it's not just that. It's I think that the instances of teenage depression and young adult depression are considerably higher now because they're comparing themselves to this 0.001%.
Well, but even then,
of people on fucking Instagram or Facebook or Twitter
but even
or
then,
wherever.
It's so highly curated. It's not even an accurate reflection of that 0.0001%'s life.
Yeah, and then not only that, they think if I can't have 1 million followers or fucking whatever ridiculous,
or 75 Stanley Cups.
Yeah, or whatever the dumb shit is this week, then I'm a failure at life. I heard something. It wasn't that exact phrase, but it was a friend of ours say something considerably similar to that one time. And it's like, no, you need to turn the goddamn phone off. You need to unplug from your social shit. Don't look at them. Don't fuck with them. Leave them alone. They don't. That's not real. That's not real life.
Right.
Those are characters on a fucking screen. That's all.
Well, and I think there's absolutely, with the influencer culture, there's that. But it's gotten even worse as that has grown. And because now, in the early days of influencing, it was all about, that I was either, when I say I mean whoever's doing this, they're either looking to,
yeah, must be talking about somebody else because don't nobody listen to me.
I can't influence my nears and dears.
I can't even influence shit that goes on in my house.
But
and
like,
there's only two of us.
They're like homeschooling or homesteading or, like a niche that you were trying to make content to inspire and help others. But now the envelope just keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And now the thing is, like where a parent might have put on the brakes and thought, this isn't good. I shouldn't do this. But when you're looking at $220,000 a month, and I'm not excusing it, by the way, it's inexcusable.
Right.
But I can see where the slope would get slippery.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah, and each time you push that bar back a little bit, it just gets easier and easier to and
then there's the other side of that, and I hate to sound this it's gonna make me sound like an old person. I know it is, and there's not shit I can do about it. And if that's how I sound, then that's how I sound. But when you have something, you have something else, right? That's just the way it is. When you have influence, I'm a parent. With that job comes a set of responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an influencer, you have influence over
With great
millions of
power
people.
comes great responsibility.
You have the responsibility, and I'm not talking about pushing your fucking politics on them.
No,
what I'm
just-
talking about though is you have the responsibility to remind them to act ethically, act morally, and you have to do it too. Otherwise, you've got motherfuckers who exploit their kids, or you have these fucking high school girls that can't wait to turn 18 so they can show their asshole on OnlyFans.
Well, and that's just it. Like, now you've got somebody who's got 17 million followers. They're making $220,000 a month. You know,
That's a lot of fucking money.
yeah, that's paying for houses in cash money.
Yeah.
And you know, other people who don't see,
Hell, if I had that kind of money, I'd get my windows tinted.
like, don't see the pitfalls of how that can be dangerous. Mm-hmm. I mean, who wouldn't want that? You know, who wouldn't want to have that kind of money? So then, you know, but everything has a price.
But that's what I was about to say. People forget that there's no free lunch. You
Right.
know? I mean, when you... There's no... And I've learned this so many different times. There's no free ride. There's always a price. Most of the time, it's the price is losing time with your family. And that really sucks. Sometimes, and I think it's going to be the case with this, it's going to be the relationship with her daughter or jail time,
Right.
because she's going to slip up. Some motherfucking pedophile with some cash is going to offer her some money, and she's going to take it, and she's going to get caught.
Well, I want to point out something too. You know, you said you
Well,
made
it's
the
about time
comment.
you hadn't said shit the whole episode.
Yeah.
30 minutes, you've just been sitting there fucking off
Just
on your
now.
phone.
Douchebag. You just said girls waiting to turn 18 so they can show their butthole on OnlyFans.
Yep.
But you know what? They're 18. They're considered an adult. That's them choosing to exploit themselves for that
Right.
money.
This little girl
That's
can't
not
make
them
I-
choosing it for someone who's not old enough
Yeah.
to do it themselves.
And you're right. What I was saying was the culture...
They're getting influenced.
They're getting basically groomed to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, when you're 18, you're an adult, you're responsible for your own fucking decisions, as long as you don't
Oh,
want to
God.
smoke a cigarette, because you have to be 21.
Well, I know what state she's in. Jesus Christ.
It's not in Arkansas, is it?
No.
Okay.
How do you know?
Because it was what state does Wren Elenore live in?
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Oh God, why don't you just give everybody her address?
Well, it's got the town.
Oh, my God.
Idiot.
So city and state, I've got right here, and that's been on the web since December of 2020.
All it takes
I'm
is for
surprised
one...
that little girl hasn't been kidnapped.
Yeah.
No shit.
I mean, I'm going to go, have you never heard of John Benet Ramsey? I mean, motherfucker. Okay, they said it's mostly, Wren's videos average over 5 million views a pop.
Jesus.
And the ones that are,
Risque.
they get that many saves.
That's fucking gross.
And, you know, it's like, so I really don't, like, yeah, at some point, if the poor child survives and nobody takes her or does something ungodly to her, she's going to eventually grow up and think, my mom
Was an awful human being.
prostituted me out, essentially, from the time
What
I
is
was
her
an
mom's
infant.
name?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, what?
I don't.
Jake,
She keeps that.
Jake Wellen.
Jake Wellen keeps that private.
Well, Jacqueline, you're a piece of shit. And I'm sure that she'll never hear this, but if by chance you do, bitch, there's a special place in hell for you.
Yeah, she knows exactly what the fuck she's
Yeah,
doing.
of course
Yeah.
she does.
Oh,
You know, it's one thing if it's like one video
Right.
here or there. It's like, I don't know. Every video, something being done or said that is like,
Yeah.
come on.
That
Like,
That
here's
reminds
the
me of this-
caption was "man's lady" on one of the videos.
Oh my God.
The hashtag was boys.
Oh my God.
When we're done with this, remind me to tell you about this one person we know. That's all I can say on here because I think they might listen to it. But just
It's just
remind me.
Yeah, and somebody on one of the people I follow, they were like, I honestly believe that we will have 15 years from now, there'll be something called Wren's Law that will limit what can be done before a child can consent.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I mean, because let's fight. Do you really think she's putting that money back for Wren?
Oh,
No.
no. And I'm telling you, if it hadn't happened already, which I would be willing to bet that it has, but if it hasn't, here pretty soon there's going to be one of these fucking pedophiles
Going to get bold.
that's got some money, because a lot of them have money, and he go offer her that right amount, and she go cross that line.
Oh, God.
That's the way that always happens.
I need to tell Alexis to make her damn Facebook friends only. I keep telling her when some random person comments on something, and you're like, okay, that's obviously a scam.
Yeah, I've got my shit logged down.
I'm like, set your profile to private or friends only.
Yeah.
I mean, even a while back, because mine's friends only. Even a while back, I thought, I guess something came up, something about kids, and I'm like, I think I've posted videos to TikTok with Elena and stuff in it, and I went through and made sure all those videos were set to friends only.
I've done the same with Mason because, in the beginning you don't think about it. And then you see something and you think, I don't know the intentions of everybody that might see this.
Yeah.
And they're just too precious.
See,
The fact that strangers on the internet had to go, lady, you're putting your kid in danger.
yeah.
But the fact that when they did in mass, she didn't immediately go, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. Give it a benefit of the doubt that she was that dumb. Mm-hmm. She's just like blocked them, wouldn't let them have a comment because she didn't want. I mean, I guess it's worth the risk to her safety.
See,
But it's not worth the risk of her safety because all her
and it's
socials
not-
are locked down.
yeah, she doesn't think it's worth the risk to her bank account either.
Yeah,
See,
that's just disgusting.
have you guys seen the movie Minority Report?
Oh God, a long time ago.
All right. Well, the whole premise of part of the premise of the movie is they are able to catch criminals before they commit the crime.
Yeah,
And I the police can only do so much. And normally I would say, that's fucked up, you need due process. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes, if the circumstances are such that the situation doesn't matter, then you shouldn't need due process.
I saw another story on TikTok, and probably it got fed to me because I was watching a lot of the Wren controversy,
Right.
And so about like sex trafficking and like where they set up to catch a predator, that sort of thing. This guy had been caught in one of those, and he's disabled, like profoundly, like I don't know, his arms and legs are tiny, have no muscle. He's obviously
The fuck was he? How was he a predator?
he lured a kid to his apartment supposedly on the internet.
And did what? Talked him into staying? It's not like he.
I mean,
Okay.
He doesn't have.
Because it wasn't like he physically restrained him.
No, but I mean,
He broke the law luring them
yeah.
there.
well, not only that, but I mean, like, you don't have to. You don't have to penetrate a child to molest them or to be sexually inappropriate. Any sexual conversation, you know, so he crossed many, many lines.
Right.
But it was astonishing to me how many people were like, BFD, what's he going to do? Well, he could still do plenty. Trust me. You know, like, he doesn't get a pass because he's physically frail, you know. It was just like, it was really, I was like, oh, I mean, think about us. Yes. You know.
It's the Social Security card.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah. He was like, it's almost like he was playing innocent. Like, what are you talking about? And he was like, I have it right here where, you know.
They always do that. Oh, no, we were just going to talk. Is that why you brought alcohol and
Yeah,
condoms?
condoms.
Yeah,
You
no
know.
shit.
Well, it was going to be a spirited conversation.
You know, and he was like, oh, no, I didn't. He told me he was 18. He was like, well, it says right here, he said he was 14. Oh,
I must have misread that.
Yeah, and he was like, I told my roommate that I was being catfished. I just knew it. He was like, sir, you weren't being catfished. You were in a sting because you were committing a serious crime. Like,
Still getting catfish, though.
what? Okay,
Yeah.
but I mean, like,
Okay, but
I mean,
he
no,
was
well-
getting
well-
catfish, but as soon as he heard 14, whoa, my bad.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
Not talking to you anymore.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Block.
But I mean,
You
but
know.
by definition, he was getting catfish.
well, I mean,
Stings are
right?
getting catfish.
Technically, he was, but I think the greater takeaway here is he was trying to lure a 14-year-old
Oh, yeah.
to diddle with him.
Yeah.
You know, and like,
Yeah, I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying that any of that's okay. I'm vehemently against all of that.
you know,
But by definition, he was getting catfish.
yes, but you know, it was just, and it was like, what was? I think because the conversation went on a long time, and I think the guy, it took him a long time to realize he was in really deep shit because he thought he could use his disability as a get out of jail free card. And so the conversation devolved, and it was really interesting to me because you could like see the
Terror.
predatory gleam in his eye. It was one of the, usually by the time on those To Catch a Predators, by the time we get to that point, they're terrified. There was still that predatory gleam in his eye. Like he somehow thought he was going to, you know, manipulate this and make it go his way. And I thought, if he's being that way with a grown-ass man who could beat his ass, how would he act to a child?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what was the guy that did the show? Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
Do you remember how many times we watched that? And the same damn guy would come back on a later episode?
Yep.
He's like, you don't learn, do you?
Like he
And-
already
and-
got caught and got in
But
trouble.
the truth is, those compulsions are so strong. That's why I don't think you can cure pedophilia. I think the only cure, and I mean, is a bullet. Like, I really do.
Well, that's why I think it's so dangerous that anybody even gives a legitimate voice to the minor attracted persons movement.
that's not a thing. That's like saying
That's not a sexual preference. That's a crime.
there aren't underage women. Those are girls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are children.
Underage boys or underage men.
Those are
Those are
boys.
boys. You know, there is no that.
But there's legitimately.
I know.
I mean, like
But
in state houses.
I know
in
you don't like to
schools.
hear that it's a sexual preference, but it is a sexual preference.
It
it's
sure
just
is.
like saying,
And it's one that can be cured with 1 ounce of lead.
absolutely. But like she was saying, it can't be cured. Like if you have a gay person, you can't cure them. They tried that. They
didn't
tried that
choose
shit.
it. They didn't, so they can't
Yeah.
be cured of it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just how they're wired, and unfortunately, I'm sorry,
There's something
They need to
broken
be-
in how
they
they're
can't
wired.
be fixed.
Nope.
Hold on. We're talking about the
pedophiles.
The
Not gay
pedophiles, not
people.
the gay people. The gay people are fine.
Do your thing.
Do your thing.
As long as
But-
it's with adults.
But there are
Yeah,
there
as long
are
as everybody can consent. I don't even care if you do it with gerbils, as long as the gerbils are able to sign a form. Like,
A waiver.
yeah, it's just say I chose this.
I'm pretty pretty against bestiality too.
I
But
was kidding.
The gays are fine.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it was
I
a
don't
consent thing, Chris.
Yeah, we
everybody
like
who
them.
consent can do
kidding.
whatever they want, but legally, children and animals can't consent.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. There are movements in state houses
I know.
and school superintendent type or shit, not school. Yeah, in school districts and shit to make that a legal, recognized sexual orientation.
Well, I mean, technically, I guess it is, but I just don't
Yeah,
give
it
a fuck.
is, and yeah,
Because I
no.
do believe that it is not a learned behavior; it is wired.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's like whatever, like
Just like I
wrote
didn't-
their sexual map
I
whenever
didn't-
that was formed.
I didn't learn to like juicy butts. That's just how it
No,
is.
I mean, like I flirted with men and boys. You know, like how little girls flirt
Yeah.
innocently. As long as I can remember, I never
Yeah.
like thought. Well, I thought about it, and I'm gonna like boys. No, I just always
Yeah, no, that's
thought they
just
were
how it's been.
beautiful. You know, and you know, so it really is. Wherever your love map is written, that shit's hardwired at that point. You know, theirs is just hardwired in a disgusting way that I'm sorry. It sucks to be you, but I don't
Yep.
care.
yeah, no, I don't care either.
You know,
But there is a cure for it.
yeah, get a love doll. I don't care.
Or
Or drop dead. I don't care.
1 ounce of lead right in the forehead.
I don't, you know, it always you don't, I'm sorry, and it sounds awful, but you don't matter. What matters is the protecting the babies.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's just, there's just so much, like, I've seen what did I say, a fourth grade teacher.
Yeah.
A fourth grade teacher got arrested this week for being pregnant
12-year-old?
with a 12-year-old's baby.
Yep.
Now, come on.
I mean, she was probably married too.
Oh, she was. She was.
How did her husband? I'd love to talk to him for just a minute.
Well, I'm sure he didn't know.
She was
Yeah.
tutoring him.
You know, I'm sure he's appalled. Can you imagine? My wife,
It wasn't there like many.
they're saying
children?
that they think that they now, a pattern that they could going back, they suspect it
That
was,
was the-
Oh, so
That was
she's
the-
a serial rapist.
yes.
Yeah.
So that was the first one that was actually able
She-
to impregnate her, or what? I mean, what the
Probably.
hell?
But they won't label her that.
No.
No, I
But
think
that's
they
exactly
will.
what she
I think
is.
they will.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Because they really
just
try
because she's
not to
a
do that to women.
Oh, yes, they do.
Yeah, Mary Kay
Just
Label
Letourneau.
because-
She went
serial
to
rapists.
Oh,
Yeah.
calling him a rapist.
well.
Yeah,
Mary
that's
Kay
what that is,
Letourneau
though.
went to jail.
Well, the problem is,
Mary Kay Letourneau.
don't
She
know.
but
was-
he's saying they don't label them rapists.
Oh well.
Yeah.
That's what
but
it fucking
here's
is.
the
They
deal.
can't consent.
Here's the
I know.
deal. As many women out there as there are that never report a rape, would you be a man and want to report that you were raped?
By a woman, no less. No, absolutely
Exactly.
not. But what
But
I'm
these
saying,
aren't men. These are little.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
true.
But
Yes,
what I'm
I'm
saying
saying,
is,
yeah.
it's statutory, but it's still rape.
Yeah.
And if she's
Just
done
like it would be if it was you and a
Yeah,
female.
right.
It's rape because it's
Because they
100%
can't
rape
legally
because they
consent.
can't consent.
Right.
I don't care what the genders are.
Yeah.
And since she's done it,
I
she
don't know
got
why
a
they don't
history
call
of
women
it.
rapists. In a case like that.
Because there's still that old.
Yeah.
People think that an erection is a choice. It's not.
No, it ain't.
I mean, I've never had a
can
dick,
assure
but
you
I've
that.
played with
No,
kids.
it's not.
And like,
I mean, you're 13,
wind
14
blows.
years old, fucking stiff breeze.
you're like, woo! You
like,
know.
ah, shit.
So an erection is not consent
No.
No.
because if I touch it, it's probably going to respond.
Yeah.
And so many people can't grasp that.
Yeah.
Or won't grasp that for whatever reason. So a woman can't rape. The fuck she can't. The fuck she can't.
Yep.
And since she has a history of it, that's the definition
Of serial
a
rapist.
serial rapist, and they won't label her that. I guarantee
Not
you.
only a serial rapist, but a serial pedophile.
Yep.
And I mean, to be honest, if Selma Hayek came over and started rubbing on me, I'm probably not going to call that rape.
Okay, great. Well, I got news for you. If Jason Momoa was buttering my buns, I wouldn't call it rape either. But, I mean, goddamn. Let's just air all our sexual fantasies here tonight. But I mean, really. And I don't want to say little boys, but I mean, a 12-year-old is a little fucking boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The boys, because it feels good, it's like a mind fuck. Well, it wasn't against my will. Yes, because you don't have the capacity to think through the repercussions and consent.
Well, and that's just like, there's like this tendency that once they reach the age of like 16 or 17, that it's not rape. But if you have a 16-year-old girl and a 24-year-old man,
that's not okay.
No, it's not. Because he's more mature mentally.
Well, yeah.
I mean, and same thing if it was reversed. If it was a
I don't
16-year-old
I
boy
don't
and a
understand
25,
why all states are different with the age. Because
that should be federal to me.
Some states, like a 16-year-old and
an 18-year-old, yeah,
will be okay because it's within like 4 years or something like that.
Yeah, some of that's weird.
Well, we were watching the other day.
And the age to marry is different in states. Yeah.
We were watching a TikTok the other day, and it's a game. It was young life, midlife, and older life. And he was playing it like with his grandmother or something, so she was older. And she picked young life, and the card was, something, just an outrageous story from your younger years. And she ran off with her boyfriend. She wasn't this young, but they were going to get married. I think she was, 16? Mm-hmm. They were going to get married, but they couldn't there, so they told them to go to wherever in Georgia because she could legally get married at the age of 12.
Yes.
Without consent or anything.
Well, I think
without
someone pretended to be her mother.
This
or
was
something.
in the 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well, my mammy married at 12.
Yep.
Wow.
I can't understand what kind of grown-ass, self-respecting man would marry a 12-year-old.
Well, back then...
No. They were still 12-year-olds back then.
Oh, I get it. But she'd also been serving as the wife of the house for 4 years at that point. Raising her siblings. Mm-hmm. And I'm not excusing it because, that's some Jerry Lee Lewis bullshit right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But...
How old was he?
He was in his 20s, mid-20s.
Hmm.
So double her age.
Yeah. I mean, they were not peers by any stretch of the imagination. And... it's not okay, and it's not... I guess it's kind of like all the other things that used to be okay in society that aren't anymore. As we grow and we evolve and we learn better, we do better, Mm-hmm. We don't allow that bullshit anymore.
And that's why I don't understand why these fucking idiots think that little kids can decide that they want to change their gender.
Well,
yeah, if they don't have
it's
consent.
the exact same thing. If they're not able to consent to one thing, they're not able to consent to the other.
Right. And I don't have a problem.
Especially when your brain's not fully developed until you're in your 20s. I mean,
well, and I don't have a problem. I'm not going to say I don't have a problem. I can't really decide what I feel about little kids. If a little kid comes to you unprompted and said, "I feel like a boy," I don't know what you do with that. Honestly, I'd just be like,
"Oh, okay, and we'll see how you feel tomorrow."
I guess, yeah, because
because you know what you don't do.
That's
you
one
don't
thing,
schedule
but
the surgery.
We're talking about
that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Putting them on hormones.
No,
doing the
they
surgery,
do put them on.
I don't understand how they allow this when they're under the age of 18.
My understanding is that they don't. Cause
they do though.
But when we hear about gender affirming care, it's not gender affirming care can be as simple as if little Susie at birth thinks she's a boy or feels like a boy and wants to be called Brandon, then the doctor refers to her as Brandon. It doesn't necessarily.
It could be, but usually isn't. I mean, there are some of these places that like that their standard of treatment is if you are 5 years old and I feel like a girl today. Great, let's get you on puberty blockers. No.
I think that's starting to finally turn around.
Yeah, I think it is starting to finally turn around.
Y'all just keep talking. I'm looking.
Oh, okay. Well, that was kind of it. That.
Well, I just talk amongst yourselves because I just like.
I mean, what I'm saying is God's honest truth, and I wish it wasn't.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm talking about when I say they need to stop fucking with the kids. Mm-hmm. You know.
I mean, a lot of these. There's been a lot of stories.
Hold on. Indistinct chatter.
They were as teenagers started hormones and then started transitioning, and then now they're in their 20s and they're like, this was a mistake.
Well, and when you are on puberty, it's one thing if you've finished puberty and then you start a transition. You can detransition from that. It sucks.
See, everything I'm seeing says the only time that they can give hormones is like say a girl, like she's having some menstrual, but like things are not, they can give her proper hormones that she would already have in her body at that time, because if
so that's not what I've read.
Well,
and they may have changed it now.
Because I'm reading in most places in the United States, you will need parental permission or have to be over 18.
So you shouldn't.
There shouldn't be parental.
No,
not until you're 18.
Not.
Yeah,
And
and it goes back to what we were saying before. Once you're 18, you know what?
Yeah.
You do what you want, and if you want to fly into something half-cocked, hey, that's on you.
If you are 18 or over, you will be started on hormones after you and your provider decide you are comfortable.
Right, but there are some states that
Yeah, I'm
that
just
type of care, and I'm using care really loosely.
because, like it says here, most
can
females
start a lot earlier.
will start puberty between 8 to 13.
8 years old.
That
Good
sounds
Lord.
so
Really?
fucking young. Now,
I knew one girl
when
growing up.
we
She
were in
was
high
9.
school, it was closer to like 13 to 16. I didn't start
8
my period.
sounds so.
I didn't start my period till I was 14.
I was 12, which I think is about the average.
That's about like right in. You
It's
know.
probably because of all the hormones in the water and the food.
Yeah. Well, they actually think it is.
That's because I mean it's there, so
It
I'm
says
sure
most
it's
females will
slowly
start
affected.
puberty when they're 8 to 13 years old. Most males start between 9 and 14. Oh my God, Mason could go into puberty next year.
Good luck with that.
Oh no. It says if like you're not, they can prescribe hormones, the appropriate hormones, you know, to help your body.
Yeah, that's not what I'm.
Yeah, that's not the same. You know.
Not the same thing. But you know, like I said, that goes back to the thing. If you're over 18 and you want to fly into something that you haven't researched, because most of them haven't, that's on you. You know, it's your body. Do what you want. But before then, I'm a firm believer that there is no such thing as a trans child. You know, you want to be a trans adult. Cool.
I actually don't agree with that. I think there are children, and I've listened to people talk about children that from the time they could verbalize, they were pretty adamant about they feel like they're in the wrong sex body. And
well, see, and my response to that would be, number one, let's get you to a psychologist, because that is gender dysphoria, and if that doesn't work, and we've tried, and you have to transition. Cool, on your 18th birthday, that's your deal.
right.
But we're not having a trans child.
Well, I think to me that's
you're looking at. Damn it.
You're picking.
You're looking at it as more of a psychological.
Right. I'm not talking about physically.
See,
I'm talking about, if Mason had came to me and said, BB, I feel like I'm a girl, I would support that in any way I could, because ultimately,
You would let him wear dresses to school?
if that's what he was determined
Ooh,
to do,
I
I
absolutely
would
would
let
not.
him. Because look, if it means that much to you that you're willing, because I know that's going to be a hard road.
Yeah, and that's something that
It's going to be a harder road with him wearing dresses to school, too.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to do that, that's a hard road.
Well, all right. So there's a girl I went to high school with. She has 3 sons, but if you were to look at her family pictures, it looks like 2 sons and a 6-year-old girl, because she lets this fucking kid wear Disney dresses and shit to school, and then doesn't understand why the other kids pick on him. It's like, no, motherfucker, and she's a teacher, so she knows how kids are. It's like you thought that you were gonna send him to school in these fucking dresses and everybody's just gonna be cool with it because that's the awesome thing to do.
Yeah,
No,
I'm not saying that I would do that lightly.
If that's
But
what,
if it was
that's what
that
you're gonna
important
do,
to the child,
if that's what you choose to do, you would have to explain.
oh yeah,
This is gonna suck ass for you.
oh no,
And you don't get to blame anybody else because this is what you chose to do. You could always wear jeans to school and then slip into a moo-moo when you get home. Fit in when you need to and then relax when you
and
don't.
I think maybe my view on that is different because I have always, y'all know this about me, I've always been very like Native American culture, and is very fascinating to me. I've always I've read about it. I've learned about different tribes and their customs and their things for so long. And I think one of the reasons is that most Native American, and I'm talking pre-colonization, this was always a thing, saw more than 2 genders. There was obviously male and female, and then basically they saw males who, what we would call trans males and trans females, and then what they called two-spirit. And the two-spirit literally is what it sounds like, have characteristics of both. And they didn't see anything wrong with that. Matter of fact, they celebrated it like they were holy people.
Now, are we talking about hermaphrodites or just
No.
they felt like?
They felt like literally, and it wasn't all, because Native Americans aren't a monolith. They don't all do and practice the same and believe things. Mm-hmm. But it was more common than not. Those people were seen as holy because they could relate to both genders. They were usually given high status. And say if Ross, instead of wanting to be a warrior, he felt like a woman, then he would dress and act as a woman, and he would not be in any way ostracized and it didn't necessarily mean that he would marry a man, because it wasn't, the attraction part was a whole nother thing, like who you, and if, say, me, I felt like I was a warrior, I would perform those roles, dress that way, but I might still be married to a man, and it was just not, and so the things we consume,
I'm trying to, I don't mean to interrupt, but
no, go ahead.
Was it that they felt like they were actually a man?
Yes.
Or they just like to do the man things?
No. Not like a tomboy. Like really felt like their spirit didn't match their body.
Okay.
And they didn't look at it as a mistake, because it wasn't a mistake. They looked at it as a gift to be able to understand that point of view. And so like, you know, it's true, the information we consume and shapes how we view the world. And so, you know, I've been reading about that stuff. So I don't know. I don't, you know, where I think there's a problem is with doing anything permanent. And that could be giving, you know, a biological girl testosterone or vice versa, or doing any sort of medical procedure, you know, because, again, I think that's something that you should be fully cognizant and able to fully consent to, because it is a humongous and painful and not to be taken lightly. And I'm not trying to say that if people, you know, let their little girls wear pants and little boys wear dresses or whatever, that they're taking it lightly. I don't mean that. I'm just saying that things that can't be undone, you know, that have the potential to alter that child psychologically, and because, again, the brain's not finished developing, or physically because the body hasn't finished developing, you know.
Well, and I also think it ought to be considered child abuse to try to push kids into that, because
I do think that happens sometimes, as people push it trying to, because they think it's cool.
Yeah, it's trendy. Yeah. And I think a lot of this comes out of California too. At least that's what the ones that I've heard have been out of California.
California's
where
full of
where you know, you know, we're a gay couple and we have 2 trans kids. It's like, no, you don't. You're a gay couple and you have 2 kids that you're grooming.
Well, but I can't 100% say that, because
I can, and here's why. Being trans, let's take away the American Psychological Association definition as it is, and just call it a normal thing that affects 0.01% of the population, and that's generous. Like, legitimately affects them. The odds of 2 kids being in the same fucking family and having it, nope, not buying it. The odds of that are astronomically slim.
I went to school with someone, and she had a daughter and a son, and when they grew up, the son was gay, and the daughter transitioned into a man.
Yeah, I mean, we went to school with someone who we went to school with the girl. Let's say Brianna. And after we got out of school, they're Brian now, and they like surgically transitioned. I mean, this was in,
grows a beard.
Yeah,
I mean,
looks manlier than, like.
So does her daughter.
Yeah, yep. I mean, just like Burrito, you know, CJ's spouse. I mean, if he walked in right now,
I would never guess that he was a woman.
I would never guess.
Yeah, I've seen a picture of him. I wouldn't have guessed that either.
Well, and it's not just a picture, like the videos, like the mannerisms.
Yeah.
You would never. Burrito is an EMT around here. I guarantee they've gone into all manner of people's houses and nobody had a fucking clue.
Here's the thing that, like, that I have no problem with. I think it's the pushing
it on the fucking kids.
You know, you're obviously a man with a beard wearing a dress, and you're pushing me to call you a woman.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
I'll call you what you want me to call you.
If you want to do it on your own and you're not pushing people to do whatever, and you want to transition into a man and you look like a man, I'm not going to question you about it.
Yeah, like
it's the pushing, and you have to do this. And you have to do that.
I told her the other night, because they had gone to her and Elena had gone to Starbucks before they went to get their nails done, right? And she said Amber said something about tell the woman what you want. And then she looked up, and the woman had a name tag on that said he, him, or whatever. And she, the guy girl didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was. I have an idea, but I'm not 100%
Yeah.
sure because I wasn't there. But she didn't say anything about it.
Yeah.
And I told Amber, I was like, if it's within reason, I'll call someone what they want to be called. Not that motherfucker in the flea market that was a 6'4" redhead bearded dude wearing a velvet dress. He gets called him.
No, if he wants me to call him she, I will.
I won't.
Because it's no big deal to me.
I won't, because that's just fucking ridiculous.
Well, but again, I don't think it's ridiculous because he
should have shaved the beard at least.
But can determine.
Yeah, if he wants to be a woman, then look like a woman.
I've dressed like a dude most of my life, but I still.
Yeah, but the tits kind of give it away.
Right, but what I'm saying is nobody.
And you don't grow a beard.
Nobody.
Yeah, you don't have your hair shaved.
Yeah,
and
but
you wear makeup, so you're not presenting yourself.
No,
as a man.
and then look, obviously, like.
Well, but what I told her, within reason, because I don't go out of my way to hurt people's feelings, believe it or not. And I never go out of my way or almost never go out of my way to be rude to someone. So if they want to be called he and they look like a he, whatever, I don't care. What I will have a problem with is if someone looks like a girl and I say,
yeah, someone comes in looking like
or
Angelina Jolie and wants to be called sir.
Yeah, or and I use whatever they don't want, and then they want to come after me.
Well, that's happened.
Because I'll tell them one time, I'm not the motherfucker.
That's happened actually to Ross and I once. And they like.
And I would have told that person one time, you need to stop.
And I was just like, I'm sorry. I went with what you presented me as,
Oh, that's more words than I'd have given them.
And I would never. Well, no, I don't. I figure those people get shit on enough. I don't need to add to it.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. If number one, that is an alternative lifestyle in the most extreme form that they chose to
but
participate.
That's the thing. I don't think they chose, Chris.
Hold on, that they chose to participate in. If they present themselves as a woman, and you gender them as a woman, but they're really a insert whatever here. Number one.
What if they wanted to be called Zim?
Not going to do it. That's not a real word. Nope.
I'll call you whatever you want.
No, I will. You can pick from he or she.
Now, see, I don't agree. I don't agree with that.
Those are the only two. There are no theys. None of us are plural. There are zims or no. That fucking shit's made up.
Like the thing, but lots of shit's made up.
I know lots of shit's made up, but. That is where I draw the line. I'm not going to call someone some made up bullshit. You want to be called he and you look like a he? Cool. You want to be called her and you look like a her? Cool. I'll even call someone they if they just really insist on it. Even though that's a plural pronoun.
We use they for people we don't know the identity of all the time.
And I would do that for them too. But I'm not going to use some made up bullshit. And if they try to come after me, I'll give them one chance to stop. Before I start hurting feelings.
I feel like they know themselves better than I can know them. So I'll
not if their pronoun is something other than he or she.
I just don't.
Because I also don't believe that there's 89 genders or whatever the fuck they said.
I don't understand that.
They don't either.
But I just I don't know. I don't see how it affects me, so I don't give a shit.
Well, and the thing is, it's not me being an asshole most of the time. Here's what it is. That is your self-image. I don't need to participate. You can use the words that we as a society have agreed on. He, she, I'll even go with a they. You don't get to make your shit up, and you certainly don't get to try to fucking shame me for not guessing it right.
Well,
that's why I said I'll give him one chance to back off. That's it.
I kind of understand his attitude. This is a very simplified way of illustrating it.
Because they're never nice about it either.
When I smoked, I consciously made an effort not to be obnoxious about it. But if you want to be an asshole...
How do you be obnoxious about smoking?
Do what?
Easy.
Just walking
for
up to people.
non-smokers. Yeah. No, and there's people that do blow it right in your face and
Oh, that's
everything
a
else.
dick thing to do.
You know,
A lot of
if
people
you're
do that shit.
if you're a
an
smoker and I'm
asshole
not,
thing to
you
do.
shouldn't get it on me.
You know, if I'm standing outside U.S. Pizza,
Yeah.
leaning against... No, wait a minute. If I'm standing outside U.S. Pizza, leaning against a wall, smoking a cigarette, and somebody starts to walk by me, I will either wait to blow the smoke out or blow it up in the air or whatever.
Yeah.
Now,
Courtesy.
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
I do that and you still want to be an asshole
Nope.
about it, then we got a problem.
Yeah, you got one
We
chance
got a
to
real
stop.
problem because I'm going to get pissed. I was nice. I'm not going to be nice now.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're in the open, and you don't own the open.
And then just like that situation,
Yeah, but-
I will make an effort. But
Well,
if
that's
you
with
want to be a
anything.
dick about it, then we have an issue.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
'cause-
that's
'cause
with
when-
any. I mean, come on, if you're gonna step to me, because I'm not gonna try.
And I think that's what Chris is trying to
Yeah,
say.
no, it's their self-image, and like I said, I'm almost never trying to be an asshole to someone. Certainly not for no reason. If I'm an asshole to someone, you bet they've earned it. But if I by chance miss the mark with my pronoun game, and someone wants to get uppity, no. Like I said, I'm gonna give you one chance,
I've only
and
had
my
that
only
happen one time.
my only phrase is going to be, "You need to stop."
Well, I will say this. I do know of someone who I've witnessed make it an issue all the time.
Who?
You don't know them. And I can't really say who they are because a lot of people may know them, but they run something around here.
Okay, I don't know who the fuck it is either.
But they, in almost every instance, make it an issue.
Well, then they would probably make any other
Yeah.
thing about them an issue in almost any instance.
Well,
like
that's
some
what it
people are
sounds like.
just
Be their thing.
confrontative,
Yeah.
So people are always looking for something.
He definitely is.
Some people are going to make an issue of everything.
I think I do say they a lot.
Yeah,
I use they a lot.
yeah, and I just
But I'm not going to use the made up ones. It's like we've all agreed a long time ago on this group of pronouns. Yeah, we did. They just made that shit up.
But we agreed on a lot of things a long time ago, and we've evolved away from them.
Yeah, I'm not changing my pronoun game just because someone feels a certain way today. But again, that's their shit. I don't need to participate in their self-image.
Well,
That's
I think I
why-
look at it like this.
That's why I've got the courtesy one time. You need to quit, and if they keep on making it an issue,
I just call someone on what they present.
yeah, exactly. And
And
if it's
you're gonna
confusing,
get mad about it,
and if
then,
it's confusing,
don't
I just
present
won't talk to
yourself
them.
that way.
Well, and I mean that's kind of how, like, my thing is, I just, if I know what you prefer, I'll use it because
Oh, well,
that's
and it's different if it's somebody that I know.
that's courtesy, and I feel like everybody gets a baseline of respect from me until they don't, until they show me disrespect, and then we're done. But I come at everybody with a baseline of respect, so I would call them whatever they ask me to call them. And I believe that the baseline is there until you just prove you're just trying to be nasty, and then I'm done with you. And at that point, if we cross that line, and now I'm like, well, I'm no longer going to give you the barest respect. You no longer exist to me in my world, and I just ignore you.
It's like my uncle. His dad was Frank Harold. He was Frank Harold Jr. He's always been called Junior. One day he gets a wild hair up in his ass when he's like in his 40s or 50s or something. Well, I want to be called Frank now. No, you're Junior. You're always going to be Junior. I'm going to continue to call you Junior.
Yeah, I know people who decide
Well,
to
your
change their
brother.
name. I know.
I have an uncle like that.
I've known him by his middle name since I met him at 16, and now he goes by his first name, and I get it wrong 100% of the time because it's wired into my brain that way, and I try and I just fuck it all up, and
I have an uncle like that. His name's Ray Reed Jr. No, Bubba. That was his name. That is what I call him to this day.
well, hell, we called Reed Bubby from the time he was. I still call him Bubby.
No. I didn't know what his real name was till I was in my teens.
Okay, Austin.
No, for real. Because that's
Who's
what
that redhead lady that's always hanging around?
that's what everybody calls him, is Bubba. And then one day he was like, I'd like you to call me Ray. All right, Bubba.
And
you know what I don't call him? Ray.
You call him Bubba Ray.
I call him Bubba.
Bubba Ray.
No, I call him Bubba. That's going to be his name until
now, I will admit,
I can't say his
have
name anymore.
evolved into this because I remember somebody, when our children were born, chose the dumbest fucking name to be called. And I just refuse to acknowledge it.
They're whispering to each other.
I don't know what she. I if I'm reading her lips right, she's saying.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me too. I don't know.
I don't know what the fuck that was. Yeah, like a cat hissing.
Yeah.
Or so, I don't know what the hell that was.
That's
supposed to
weird.
say it into the fucking
That is a pretty
microphone.
dumb name, a hiss.
Well, it's like Prince had the symbol.
I know, that's so stupid.
No, it was actually really, really smart. I'll tell you
yeah.
And I
what.
was just like, nope, it rhymes with my name, and I'm not doing it.
What, Andy? Candy? Randy? It was Randy. What?
Randy likes to jerk
Randy
dicks.
jerking dicks.
And I was just like, that's ridiculous. I'm
What?
not doing it. It was Grandy. And I hated it, and I wouldn't
Wasn't
call
there
it.
a restaurant called Grandy?
Yeah, and it was really good. It was up there with Shoney's.
And I just
There's still a
I just
Grandy's
called her
around there
grandmother till the day she died.
somewhere. Grandy, for real?
Yeah. And I just felt it was too close to my name, and it made me feel icky when I said it, and I didn't like it.
Oh my God, this was so funny. So Elena, one day we were over there, and I've heard BB for so long. She was pushing a car and saying, beep, 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 and I thought she said baby. I was like, yeah, baby. I was like,
That
wait.
is-
It's just like another word for grandmother.
Yeah,
I was like,
well,
I'm not BB.
Yeah, I
Why'd
was
you
about to
say
say,
BB? Oh, she's saying beep. Okay.
Yeah, not what she calls you.
Oh my God.
All right, guys, we're almost at an hour and a half. I think because
We done beat this one to death.
well,
Yeah.
we've recorded 3 episodes tonight that were over an hour long.
Yeah.
So I think we're
I think we're done.
just starting to ramble now. So
Yeah.
y'all take it easy.
Bye.